Hello, I'm Alexis, and welcome to Hell. Happy day one of Jante's Inferno, the Readathon, if you are participating. If you're not, what are you doing? This is literally the best idea for a readathon there's ever been. So our goal this week is to escape from hell. It is currently day one, Tuesday, February 6th, which means we are all the way in the very bottom of hell. I pulled up a little map on my phone that goes through each of the circles of hell because I honestly don't know them. And I did even read Dante's Inferno in college, but clearly I didn't pay enough attention. So we are starting out in Circle 9, which is treachery. In this circle, Satan is imprisoned in ice from the waist down in the very center. He is displayed as the trophy of treachery. I thought I would live my Elsa Snow Queen fantasy, and I'm wearing my light blue icy look, because the prompt for this circle is to read a book set in a winter setting or with snow on the cover. And today for that, I am going to be starting Boys in the Valley by Philip Versace. So this one is about a boys' orphanage in Pennsylvania, and one night this man shows up and he has occult symbols carved in his body and he dies. And his death kind of unleashes this evil that spreads like a sickness throughout the orphanage. So I think we're gonna get a lot of creepy children in this one, along with some sort of demonic possession, evilness that is spreading throughout the orphanage. I have only heard terrifying things about this one, so I really hope it lives up to the hype. I am gonna go start work, and I will check in when I have some thoughts about the book. Your whole foot is in your mouth. What are you doing? Hello, so there has been a slight change of plans. I went to start listening to the audiobook for Boys in the Valley and realized I didn't have it from the library. I am still on hold for it. I am the first person in line, so hopefully it comes through tonight or tomorrow morning so I can start listening. But in the meantime, I was able to borrow the ebook from my library, so now that I'm done with work, I can finally sit down and start reading that. Real quick before I start reading, I do want to post on Instagram really quick. I just took some pictures of some winter horror recommendations, so I want to get those up for day one. So I am going to edit and post my photos and then start reading. Good morning. I wanted to give a little check-in because I haven't talked to you in a few days. I am still working on Boys in the Valley and I am loving it so much. I made it to 60% last night, which is a lot for me to read that quickly. So in this we are following a boys' orphanage, and they are kind of not treated the best by the priests that run the orphanage. And one night the sheriff shows up with a man who has occult symbols carved into his body. He was just caught making a sacrifice in the woods, and they bring them to the priest to save his soul. So we have this super creepy scene of this demonically possessed man. This evil that was within him is released into the boys in the orphanage, and specifically specifically the leader of like the evil boys, is so creepy. Now that I am 60% of the way in, shit is going down. This book is just so wild, and the deaths have been so gory and gruesome and unexpected, and like I can't put it down. I was reading until like 2 a.m. last night. So I am at the vet this morning, and I brought my Kindle because it's always kind of a long wait here, but that is okay. We will just get some more reading done. Hello friends, I am so excited to be checking in and letting you know that I have finally made it out of the 9th circle of hell. I just finished Boys in the Valley by Philip Versassi, and at first I was a little mad, or like I didn't really agree with what happened towards the end, but the more I've thought about it and processed it, I think I'm gonna go with 5 stars. It was just a really solid book. I know it took me a while to finish it, but every time I was reading it, I was just finishing huge chunks at a time. Like it didn't feel like I was reading, and the pages were really flying by. And the more I've thought about it, the ending did really fit. I don't think there could have been another way for it to end. And this book ended up being the perfect read for the prompt. As a reminder, the prompt I was using it for was a winter setting or snow on the cover. There is snow on the cover, but more than that, it really, towards the end of the book, there was not only the chaos of the demonic possession and the boys turning on each other and all the killing that was happening, but also there was a snowstorm coming in. So chaos happening on the inside of the orphanage, along with the panic of we need to get out before the snowstorm hits, and then the feeling of being trapped when you can't go anywhere because of the storm. So the snow did play a really important factor into it, adding to that sense of doom and being trapped, having nowhere to go, having no hope. Overall, the snow was a really important part of the story and setting the atmosphere. For this one, you do have to suspend your disbelief a little bit, but I mean, it's about demonic possession. We're already kind of doing that anyways. So for now, I'm going to do a little bit of planning. I have some updates to my reading journal I can make now that I've finished a book. And after this, I will be moving on to circles 8 and 7. I am doubling up, and I'm going to be reading Happiness Volume 3 by Shuzo Oshimi. This is going to fit the prompt of a horror with a dark theme, along with a vampire book or blood on the cover. I hit all 3 with this one, and it should be a very fast read that I can complete tonight in one sitting. So I will talk to you later when I start Happiness. 5 stars. Hello, as you saw, I just finished Happiness Volume 3 and it was absolutely 5 stars. It is getting so wild. So much happened in this volume and we're really getting into the story. Like, I mean, you saw, I was gasping, gagging. Like, it is taking everything in me not to pick up the next volume because I have things to do today. Sorry if anything changed. My camera died while I was filming that update. So, like I was saying, things to do today, even though I really, really want to pick up volume 4 because, like, Things are happening. But right now I am going to be doing my makeup. It is Sunday and tonight is the Super Bowl. We are having friends over, so I thought I would get ready now, do some cleaning, and then hopefully have time to start my next book before people get here. Don't look at my bed. I haven't made it yet. That is something I will be doing soon. But because we have made it through 2 more circles of hell now, I want to do some Circle 7 inspired makeup. Happiness counted for circles 8 and 7. 8 being fraud, I think. It's like the pit of despair circle. And then the one above that is like the boiling blood vampire circle. So we are doing some bloody vampire inspired makeup. Plus it will match my red jersey that I'm wearing tonight in support of the 49ers. I'm really just team anybody but Kansas City. I can do a little Sephora haul while I put on my makeup. I don't go to Sephora very often. I usually buy my makeup from like Target, but I was at the mall for another reason yesterday, and there were a few things that I was needing to restock on. So I already put the shampoo I bought away, but I got the Olaplex purple shampoo. I've been using their purple conditioner for a while, and it makes my ends this really pretty blonde and gets rid of any brassiness. And the shampoo I've been using was just like a L'Oreal that I got from Target, and I didn't love the results as much as I was loving the conditioner results. So I decided to upgrade to the Olaplex, and it makes my hair so soft. I definitely won't be using it every time I wash my hair because it was $30 for like a bottle this big, but the conditioner has lasted me a really long time. So hopefully using the shampoo about every other time I wash my hair, it will have the same results. Other than that, I got a restock on my mascara. Everybody knows the Too Faced Better Than Sex. So I wanted to get a new tube of this since I was there. I got a restock on my new favorite lipstick, the Charlotte Tilbury Pillow Talk. I ended up buying a sample of this a few months ago, and it was just like a little tiny tube. And I still had a lot left. Like, I was using it a lot, and it was lasting a while, but I can't find this sample anywhere. So hopefully it turns up and I'll just have 2 now. The sample size can stay in my purse and this one can stay in my vanity because I love this color so much. It is like the perfect lip color for me. I will be wearing it today, but I probably won't put it on until closer to game time when people are getting here, because for now I have some cleaning to do and I need to eat breakfast and I just don't want to be wearing lipstick all day. And then the most exciting thing I got, I was just in need of a good perfume. I was kind of just using like some body sprays that I had gotten from Target, and the scent doesn't really last all day. It's been a few years since I've had a good perfume. I've used like the Ariana Grande ones in the past, and as you can see, very low on that. I have Daisy by Marc Jacobs, again, very low, but like neither of those scents I really loved. Like, I used them, but they weren't my favorite ever. So I tested out some perfumes and I ended up going with Burberry Her. I don't know if that's its name, but it looks like this. And I sprayed some on myself yesterday, and oh my God, I just couldn't stop smelling myself yesterday. The scent lasted the entire day. So I got a little travel size. This guy was like $40. The big tube is like, the bigger perfume size is like over 100. So I will definitely be asking for that for like a birthday present or like saving up for something special. But for right now, this is just going to be like a special occasion perfume when I feel like smelling extra good. I said I was going to do my makeup while talking to you, and I've done nothing. Other than that, what do I have to tell you about? Oh, I did end up yesterday, so I would have talked to you last night and told you that I was planning on starting Happiness Volume 3. I did in bed last night, but I was so confused. I did not remember anything that happened in the last 2 volumes. So I did reread 1 and 2 last night in bed. They're very quick. They didn't take much time at all. And then you saw I started and finished volume 3 this morning. If you're a fan of horror manga at all, I do really recommend this series. I'm a big fan of Shuzo Oshimi's other manga series, Blood on the Tracks, but I honestly feel like Happiness might be better. I don't know. I don't want to say that too early because I am only on volume 3 and there's 10 volumes, I think. And then Blood on the Tracks, they're still coming out, but I think we're up to like 13 or 14 volumes. If you can hear very loud purring, I have not fed the babies yet, so they are all up in my space. Oh, even this one. Hello, Poe. I wanted to come in and give you an update because I didn't talk to you at all yesterday. Nobody is more surprised than me of what I am about to tell you. I am 50% of the way into The Serpent and the Wings of Night, and I'm loving it. Like what? I think it really has to do with them being vampires because I just eat vampires up. Like, I can't think of a single vampire book that I haven't liked. It is very easy to hook me if there are vampires involved. Are getting close to the end of the readathon, so I need to step it up. Yeah, we're in circles 6 and 5, Heresy and Anger for Serpents and the Wings of Night. For Greed, we are reading Song of Solomon by Toni Morrison. I did start the audiobook for this one yesterday. I am a few chapters in, so I will be listening to more of this today, and I will update you on this one later after I finish Serpent and the Wings of Night. I know the point of this readathon is to read them in order, so I'm taking it to mean as long as I finish them in order, it doesn't matter how I read them. So goal is I'd like to finish this one tonight, but I really don't know if it's feasible for me to read half of the book. I mean, we'll see. I do have to go to the gym tonight though, so maybe I bring it with me. And then I should be able to get a big chunk of this audiobook done today. I don't think I have any meetings, and as long as it's an easy work day, I can have this playing in the background. Okay, I will check in with you later, probably after work, and give you some more thoughts. Again, it is much later. I am back from the gym, back changed into my comfy clothes. And I wanted to give you an update on The Serpent and the Wings of Night because I didn't actually tell you what it was about earlier. So I made it to 57%. I did take it to the gym and I was reading while walking on the treadmill, and I literally didn't want to stop. Like, I wanted to just walk on the treadmill the entire time. I didn't want to do anything else because I didn't want to have to stop reading. Page 280. So I am still so surprised at how much I am loving this, but I didn't actually tell you what it was about earlier, and that is we're in this fantasy world where vampires are in charge. There are humans, but they're really in danger and hunted by the vampires. So our main character, Aurea, is a human who was adopted by like the vampire king Vincent when she was just a baby. Her parents and village were burnt down, destroyed by these vampires, and instead of eating her, Vincent took her in and trained her to be one of his own. I don't know if it's the book that's not doing a good job describing things, or it could just be me because I don't read a lot of high fantasy that I'm having a hard time with the world building. I just can't remember anything. Like all of the names of the houses and political stuff goes right over my head. I have no idea what's going on. I don't even think it's really been talked about how you actually become a vampire, because it's not like the traditional like biting you and then you're a vampire. I think there is a way to do that, but they said that 2 out of every 3 people who are turned that way die, so that's why Vincent hasn't turned Aurea into a vampire. And it's a competition book. It's a lot like the Hunger Games, where she is in this competition trying to kill everybody else and be the last survivor. And again, is it me or did the book not describe it? I don't even know what she wins. I think she wins like magic powers, or maybe the ability to be a vampire or get turned into a vampire. I am not doing a good job selling this book to you, but I'm enjoying my time. Just empty head, no thoughts, living on the vibes. And if that's what I have to do to get through a fantasy book, that's what we do. I chose this book for the prompt of like a battle, war, or knife to throats enemy. And honestly, perfect pick without even realizing it, because our very first interaction between Aurea and the lead man in the story, who like is definitely going to be the love interest. Like we haven't gotten there yet, but for sure he'll be the love interest. Their first interaction is her stabbing him in the thigh. And that's exactly the sort of tension I want between our love interests. So in this competition, Aurea is the only human, and somehow she's able to just fight off all of these vampires with like superhuman abilities. So I do have to suspend my disbelief a little bit, but I'm here for it. I wouldn't be surprised if in the end it is revealed that she has some sort of magical powers or something that makes her able to do this. It is the second to last day of the readathon, so I definitely have to finish this tomorrow. I have 3 hours left, so I don't think I'm gonna finish it tonight. I need to get moving. I am going to get into bed and read, and I will talk to you tomorrow where I have hopefully finished this, or at least am very close to finishing. I'm on page 441 and something just happened and I can't believe. Okay, I'm not ready. I don't want to read anymore. I'm done. It is a little while later, and I have now made it to chapter 5, 111 pages into Song of Solomon, and I realized that I didn't really tell you what it was about because I don't actually know myself. So reading the synopsis on the back actually didn't tell me too much. It says, Milkman Dead was born shortly after a neighborhood eccentric hurled himself off a rooftop in a vain attempt at flight, which was like the first 5 pages of the book. The rest of his life, he too will be trying to fly. So it's a pretty vague synopsis. I ended up looking up a plot summary on Wikipedia because I was just confused. I didn't know where we were going. I didn't know what was going on. Like, you think 100 pages in, you like should kind of be understanding what's going on, and I have just been so confused. It's probably me, but I have really enjoyed the other Toni Morrison books I've read, so I don't think I'm too dumb for her writing. Like, this book is just not hitting. So I looked up the plot summary, and I spoiled the ending for myself, but I think that's okay. Usually with classics, I don't, and this is kind of like a modern classic, but whatever. I usually don't mind spoiling the ending, especially in a book that I'm having a hard time understanding, because then when these things happen, I already kind of know what's going on, and it just makes it all easier for me to understand. So spoiled the ending for myself, and I almost want to DNF this. I don't know. I don't think I will, since I am already like sort of halfway. Okay, I'm a third of a way because it's a 340-ish page book. But I have the audiobook and I don't have anything else to listen to, and I did pay full price for this book. I do want to read all of Toni Morrison's books, so I'm gonna push through and finish it. I'm just not really enjoying it, and I'm sad about that. It started out strong. There was actually this really beautiful quote in the beginning. It says, "It was becoming a habit, this concentration on things behind him, almost as though there was no future to be had." Like, that's so beautiful. And of course, Toni Morrison's writing is beautiful. It's a weird one. So like, first of all, none of these characters have real names. Like, our main characters, I guess it's his nickname is Milkman. I guess these all have to be nicknames, right? His real name's not Milkman, and his friend Guitar, his real name isn't Guitar, but it's just taking me out of it. Like, why do they have these nicknames? And then we just met a person named Empire State. Like, what? This book seems to be no plot, really just a character study, kind of following Milkman from the day he was born until adulthood. At least that's what the plot summary online says. And usually I like really character-driven books, but maybe it's just because I don't really like Milkman as a character. That's why I'm not, like, we're gonna give it a chance. You know, I'm not giving up on it. Hopefully he changes my mind and I end up really liking him. But we'll see. That's all I had to say. I'm gonna get back to work and listening to my book. Hello and happy Friday. I failed miserably last night. I think I read 7 pages before going to sleep. So we have a lot to do today, and we are getting dangerously close to failing this readathon and not escaping hell. I just finished the audiobook for Song of Solomon by Toni Morrison, and I think I'm gonna give it probably a 2.5 star. It just wasn't my favorite. There was really no plot. It was all just a character study, and I didn't really like the characters in it. And 2.5 is still a good rating for me. Like, that's a fine book, because there were some really, really beautiful lines throughout, like all of Toni Morrison's writing is, and a lot of really relevant conversation even till today. They talked about Emmett Till in this. So of course, it's an important book. It's Toni Morrison. But it's just not my favorite of hers. And I rate books completely on my enjoyment. So that's what I think I'm going to go with. I am so tired. We have 2 more books and then we're out of hell. I am going to go wash my face and hopefully wake up enough, because we have a graphic novel and a manga to read. And I'm doing that before I fall asleep. It's 1 a.m., so technically the readathon's over, but I don't count the day as being over until I go to sleep. I will not admit defeat. finished The Princess and the Grilled Cheese. It was so cute. That was a really good choice. I'm happy I finally read it. It was so cheesy, but like in the best, cutest way. So we have one more book to do and then we are out of hell. We got this. Moving on to Happiness, Volume 4. I did it. I just finished Happiness Volume 4. I'm so upset over the ending of this. Like, I can't make my thoughts into words right now because I'm so tired. I wasn't expecting that to happen. That's so sad. That was wild. I can't wait to see where the series is going, but not tonight because I am going to bed and I am sleeping until noon tomorrow. I will give you my final check-in tomorrow after I feel a little more alive. Hello, good morning. I am so happy to be coming to you and telling you that we did it. We escaped hell. I didn't think we would for a while. It was a little iffy the last few days, but last night I stayed up way too late and I completed all of the books. So let's wrap up this vlog and talk about everything we read. We started off in the 9th circle of hell, which represents treachery, and for this we read a snowy winter book, which was The Boys in the Valley. This one was 5 stars. It's definitely a new favorite horror book and definitely one that I would recommend if you're looking for the perfect spooky winter read. After that, for circles 8 and 7, I doubled up and I read Happiness Volume 3 by Shuzo Oshimi. This fit the prompt of a horror or thriller for the fraud circle, and a vampire book or a book with blood on the cover for the violence circle. I just love everything Shuzo Oshimi does, and I don't think this series will ever get lower than a 5 stars for me. After that, we doubled up again for circles 6 and 5. 6 was to read a hot pick or a popular release, and circle 5 was to read an angry book, so a book with a battle, a war, or knife to throats enemies. And for that, I read The Serpents and the Wings of Night. You guys know how I feel about this book. I cannot believe it. I cannot believe I enjoyed a romantasy book. Like, maybe I am a changed woman because of this, but I will definitely be picking up the second book really soon, maybe even in March. I haven't made my TBR yet, so I might try and prioritize it. Let me know, is the second one as good as the first one? Should I rush to read it right away? For circle 4, we had to read a book for greed, a book that you paid full price for, and for this, I read The Song of Solomon by Toni Morrison. This was a book that I bought from a local indie bookstore. I am happy I read it, even though it definitely isn't my favorite Toni Morrison book. I eventually want to read all of her work, so I know I will enjoy some more than others. For circles 3 and 2, Gluttony and Lust, I was originally going to read Honey and Spice, and I'm still gonna read it this month, so look out for that in a upcoming vlog. But for the sake of running out of time, I switched this to The Princess and the Grilled Cheese. I just thought a graphic novel was the smart move here. It's something I could read in one sitting, and I'm really happy I finally got around to this one. It had been on my TBR for a while. Fun fact, I actually bought this book for my cousin for last Christmas because she really enjoys queer graphic novels, and I had heard such good things about this one. So now at the next family gathering, I can talk to her about it since I've read it. And finally, the first circle, Limbo, to get out of hell and escape, I read Happiness Volume 4 by Shuzo Oshimi. Just really wanted to continue with this manga series, and I knew this would be a really quick one to get me out of hell. I originally planned on reading Bloom for this one, and same as Honey and Spice, I'm reading it this month. I just couldn't fit it in and read 4 full books yesterday. You know, we'd had to do a little rearranging, but I wasn't getting stuck in hell. It wasn't happening. We were getting out one way or the other. As always, thank you so much for watching. I hope you read a good book today, and I'll see you again soon in my next one. Bye.